Hi, this video is to support everyone in um, completing the next lab write-up, the lab write-up for lab number 13, measuring the rate of cell respiration. So much of what you're going to see in this classroom post will look familiar. Most people have watched the Edpuzzle video now that introduced you to the experiment, whether you were at home or here at school. We've got the slide deck that takes you through the process of writing a valid scientific explanation via the claim evidence reasoning model. We've got our link to the class data spreadsheet, and that is it. And in a moment, I'll be posting this video to the same classroom post so that you can take a look at it as often as you'd like. Um, since most classes, all classes at this point, have finished collecting data, when you open up the spreadsheet, you're going to notice I've tried to organize the sheet into four individual sheets. Two sheets match up with the learning at home students, and two sheets match up for the classroom students. I'll be honest, as you begin to formulate your lab write-up, it doesn't really matter if you want to assume the position of an at-home student or a classroom student, because I'm hoping that you'll be able to analyze the data regardless of the source of data. But you don't need to analyze both sources. You can choose one, either the learning at home or the classroom data. Everything you need should be up here. I, of course, have the raw values. I have the statistics that have been calculated automatically for you. And then depending on where you click, if you're a learning at home student, I've got a graph that you can use for the purpose of data analysis. And if you're a classroom student, again, if you want to assume the role of classroom student, even if you're learning from home, totally fine. I've got a spot for the data and a graph. All right. So as you think about the lab write-up, a lot of the heavy lifting has been performed by you and your classmates, maybe even by me a little bit. Um, as you open the sample slide deck, the question is often the question that you folks use to identify the purpose of the lab. The claim is going to be pretty intuitive in this case. You want to use the evidence to write a particular claim, but I want to give you a pass on the evidence, right? Because the evidence is here. All right, you don't need to add it to a separate slide or add it to a separate document. It is right here. I would ask that in a few sentences, maybe a paragraph, you summarize the evidence, okay, like you have been. But there's no need to recreate a graph or recreate a data table. They have all been provided for you based on the work that's been done beforehand. Okay, so along with the scientific reasoning statements, the science ideas, which are also available in that slide deck, I want you to focus the majority of your effort on writing that scientific explanation. All right. So you've got the question, you've got the claim, you've got the evidence, you've got the science ideas. What we're really trying to do with that explanation is put it all together. How does the evidence connect to the science ideas? Okay. And how can I use those potential connections to elaborate in such a way that I write a valid and meaningful scientific explanation? All right. So the bulk of what I'm hoping you'll spend your time doing won't be on analyzing the data, but instead will be on writing the explanation. Okay. So I'm going to post this video to Classroom right now. You can look at it whenever you'd like. And of course, as you build this lab write-up, as you complete this lab write-up, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask.